Sadly, the Cenobite and his cosmetics are leaving Dead by Daylight. His DLC is no longer purchasable from the platform stores. However, you can still buy him and his cosmetics through the in-game store up until the 4th of April, where he will completely leave Dead by Daylight. Additionally, a 50% sale will be going live for this period, so make sure to get this killer and his cosmetics if you don't want to miss out on the future. If you purchase the killer before he leaves, or if you already had him, then basically nothing will change for you. The 3 perks of the Cenobite, Deadlock, Gift of Pain and Plaything will be made free for everyone who does not have the Cenobite unlocked, just like it happened with the Stranger Things perks. I guess the monkey's paw made my wish a reality, as now Dead by Daylight is less pay to win than before. However, it came with the cost of having an entire license leave the game. If you have the Cenobite, like I said before, nothing will change for you. You can still use the character as always, level him up, prestige the character. However, you will only get his prestige cosmetics and charms, as the perks will be unlocked for everyone by default. For daily rituals, if you own the Cenobite, he will also appear there, and as for achievements, they will be made generic once the license disappears, with more info closer to the disappearance of the license. Behavior has also said that even after the Cenobite leaves, if there are any changes needed to be made to him, they will be made, so he can get balance changes as well as bug fixes. This is just like what happened with the Demogorgon, as he got some add-on changes once his DLC left the game. The rest of the information is a bit miscellaneous, but it talks about his cosmetics or his cross-progression access if you have him on a different account. The most interesting part is that if you get him on the store now, you will also get the Lament configuration charm as part of it, since his DLC is no longer available to purchase. To be completely honest, this is not surprising at all to happen. As you may know, in the past, this DLC came with a lot of controversy related to the voice lines as well as the NFT fiasco. Behavior themselves said that no more content will be ever coming to this chapter, so this departure from DbD was only a matter of time. For more information on what happened, basically Behavior really wanted to have the Cenobite in the game, as it was Mathieu Cote, the game director, favorite killer. However, the license itself was at that time in a bit of a mess, as Park Avenue, the current holders of the international release as well as the US release at that time, were about to transfer the US rights to Clive Barker, the original writer. It was at this moment when Behavior got the license, as Park Avenue most likely wanted to make a quick buck before losing the rights to the Hellraiser US release, which explains the NFT fiasco and how Behavior agreed to be part of it even if they didn't profit at all from that project. And this rocky foundation led to the DLC feeling incomplete. We only got Cenobite as part of it, and not any survivor, like Kirsty Cotton. For the cosmetics, while we did get the Chatterer, we never got the other Cenobites, the female one and Butterball, and the only cosmetic Cenobite got actually had an issue with the head part, which is why it was sold with no head cosmetic, even when it was created and found in the files of the game when he released. In fact, concept art of the cosmetics of Cenobite revealed just how ambitious Behavior was with this license, as this killer had so many possibilities. In the end, we only got A2, the bottom left version. And as for the map, while there is nothing confirmed about it, according to Mazuzder, the leaker from DbD Leaks who got the vast majority of them right, a map for this chapter was also coming, but it was scrapped due to too much sexual content, which is fitting for the license we're talking about. So in the end, this chapter is leaving, but in the grand scheme of things, we're not losing as much as with Stranger Things. There is no map, no survivors, and the killer himself is pretty rare to see in the game, with only a 1.53% pick rate. In the worst case scenario, we are never getting the license back, so all the new players coming after Springtrap's release will be missing out on the Pinhead, which is pretty sad to think about, and really ironic considering how when the Cenobite was teased, a lot of players thought that it was the FNAF chapter. On the bright side, there is a possibility that Behavior will take time to renegotiate the DLC back into the game, but this time done the correct way with the correct license holders, which potentially might bring a new version of the DLC with a survivor, a map, and finally new cosmetics for the Cenobite. Another funny thing is that Matthew has said that with all future licenses, they made sure to make it extra hard for the license holders to get their content removed from the game after what happened with Stranger Things. However, this was after they did the Hellraiser chapter. So the good news is that this is potentially the last chapter to have the possibility of leaving the game, as all the future ones were made with that protection in mind, like Alien, Castlevania and D&D. And all the past ones didn't have any issues with the license themselves. Hopefully this does not age like milk. Now let's talk about the impact that these perks are going to have on the beginner's phase of Dead by Daylight, because this is huge news for all new players, especially those that didn't buy the character. Deadlock, Gift of Pain, and Plaything will be general perks made available for everyone, just like how Jolt, Mindbreaker and Claustrophobia were, as well as all the 6 survivor perks. And this is actually very interesting. Deadlock is one of the best gen stalling perks in the game, and considering the fact that the Plague is a grindable character, this means that one of the best gen lockdown builds now requires only 1 perk less to get, as Corrupt Intervention pairs really well with Deadlock. Gift of Pain is going to be very annoying against new players, as they are the most nervous about playing while injured. This perk is going to make some of the new player matches miserable, as well as introduce an actually useful Scorch Hook perk to Dead by Daylight for free, as the only one currently is Monster Shrine, which is not that good. And finally, perhaps the most impactful is the introduction of Plaything against new players, which is going to be insane. A perk that grants the Oblivious status effect is absolutely game breaking against players that have zero idea of how the game works. They will not know that one of the totems in the map are linked to them, and they won't understand why sometimes the totem is blocked and they cannot cleanse it. I fully expect to see this perk get some kind of change, because as it currently is, this is going to be the best perk to use as a new player by far, because it's extremely potent against clueless players. With the influx of new players coming soon with the FNAF chapter, this is going to make an even bigger impact, and I am sure Behavior knows about this. And as a final note, we finally know why the Cenobite balance changes that were coming were indefinitely delayed. For more context about this, way back in 2024, Behavior announced a roadmap which included changes for the Plague and the Cenobite coming on November of 2024, but this was later changed completely, and we never got to see what changes the devs were cooking. It seems like at this moment they already knew that the license would be gone in the future, as possibly they stopped the renewal process for it, so they decided why bother. It's also funny how this is the rift they decided to go with, which includes a lot of Cenobite-like cosmetics. It's as if they tried to do their own take on the Hellraiser license. Or maybe this rift was supposed to release with the Cenobite balance changes too, but it was eventually delayed. Let me know in the comments what you think about this tragic news. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.